Annually at Marion County Public Schools, we honor our veterans by keeping school in session and teaching our young people what it means to sacrifice for our great nation. We thank you for being a part of that by joining us here today as we honor the men and women who have given so much for our freedom and liberties.
graduate, but from their inspiration, my love for reading developed in my early years and remains with me today. I hope you're reading something today too and continue to read throughout your lifetime. Now, our school district has nearly 300 veterans working for our students, for you, every day. If you are a Marion County employee and also a veteran, would you please stand at this time so we may recognize you? Please stand. And if you are a family member of a veteran, stay standing, but if you're a family member as well of a veteran, please stand, because we kept those home fronts going. Hooray. Thank you to all of you. I can't say thank you enough. You know, my family then settled in Pennsylvania, in Altoona, Pennsylvania. I know there's some Penn State fans out there today. Just remember, yeah, there you go, we are. Okay, so in Pennsylvania, a place steeped with patriotic pride and service for country above self. Now, just like the families whose houses were built one brick at a time, our nation is built one family at a time. And today, more than ever, our children need a firm foundation to develop them into strong, productive citizens who contribute positively to our society. Our veterans, again, we thank you because you help provide these stable foundations with your true life experiences. So once more, thank you, veterans, for your sacrifices so our students can become proud American citizens for generations to come. I continue my commitment to our veterans in Marion County. God bless you and God bless America.
Marion County Public Schools is proud to have reserved, dedicated parking spots for Purple Heart recipients on our campuses. The Purple Heart Medal is given by the President or in his name to those wounded or killed while serving in our military. So far, we have parking spots at 41 of our schools, and we plan to have them at our remaining schools in just a few weeks. So if you are a Purple Heart recipient and here with us this morning, please stand so we may recognize and honor you at this time. I know we have some. Coming next to our podium this morning is someone who knows about serving his community and his country. Each workday, he leads those providing direct services to meet the needs of our own veterans living right here at home. Please help me welcome Mr. Jeffrey Askew, the Director of Veterans Services for Marion County.
Good morning, everyone. I just want to thank you for coming today, even though it's a hot day and a somewhat steamy day. If you would, please stand. Let us have a moment of silence for those who lost their lives in a senseless way in California. Those who lost their lives in the hurricanes, fires in California. There's a lot of mayhem going out throughout the world. So let us pause and just remember those who lost their life and those who are there yet to save lives. You may be seated. All right, kids, this morning, if you can, all the children out there say, thank you, veteran. I can't hear you once again. Say, thank you, veterans. One more time. One more time. All right. Give yourself a hand. Give yourself a hand. You know, life is too short not to have fun. You know, you must have fun each and every day. But the most important thing we need to do now, we need to pray for peace. We need to pray for peace in our hearts, in our minds, in our homes, in our neighborhoods, peace everywhere on this universe. Because somewhat it's disturbing and alarming. But our Creator above will bring peace if we all join together and ask God for peace. I want to acknowledge Mr. Al and Mrs. Judy Dunlap. They're somewhere out in the audience. They're the one who are responsible for this video screen that you see out there. I don't know where they're at, but there they are right there. And he served during, I believe it was World War II. Mr. Dunlap, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, because that way everyone can actually see what's going on. Mr. Dunlap, thank you for your service, and thank you for what you do, and we are proud of you and your wife, and keep making this community what it is. We need more people like you. Thank you. Again, let us pray for peace and keep peace. May God be with you. Once again, children, say, thank you, veteran.
That Mr. Askey is a little dynamite, isn't he? We're presenting our parade of colors this morning, our junior ROTC cadets and color guard students from schools representing every public high school in Marion County. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand with respect for the next few minutes and remain standing regardless. As a pledge of loyalty to the United States of America, 31 words affirm the values and freedoms our flag represents. The Pledge of Allegiance was originally composed by Francis Bellamy in 1892. It was supposed to be quick and to the point because Bellamy designed it to be stated in 15 seconds. Over the years, the pledge has been modified 4 times, most recently in 1954, adding the words, "under God." Leading us this morning in our pledge are Demetrius Branton and Tiffany Chapman, both students at Hillcrest School. Here we go, guys. Ready? Put your hand over your heart. Put your hand over your heart. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
In 1814, the British captured a 34-year-old Washington, D.C. lawyer and poet near Baltimore during an attempt to negotiate freedom for others. That night, this attorney watched as Baltimore suffered bombing by a British fleet just offshore. Although rain obscured a nearby fort during the night, at daybreak, Francis Scott Key could see the American flag still flying from Fort McHenry. The fort survived the British firing some 1,800 bombs, rockets, and shells at it, about 400 of them landing inside. Key drafted the words of a poem on an envelope and a short time later was released and went ashore with other detainees. The British fleet withdrew and Key finished his poem and made a legible copy in a local hotel the next day. This young attorney showed the poem to relatives of his wife, who immediately had it printed and distributed throughout the city on a handbill called the defense of Fort McHenry. Within a couple of weeks, Baltimore newspapers published the poem, and it gained instant popularity and was renamed the Star-Spangled Banner. The anthem has 4 verses, each ending with the line, "O'er the land of the free and the home of the brave." Performing our national anthem this morning, after our colors are presented, are the Westport High School Chamber Singers, directed by Golden Apple teacher Nancy Atkinson. And we ask you to please remain standing for the presenting of our colors under the direction of Master Sergeant Jeff Cochin, retired from the United States Marine Corps, which celebrates its 243rd birthday tomorrow. Those, ladies and gentlemen, are the Westport High School Chamber Singers. One more time, show them your appreciation. Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated. America truly is beautiful in so many ways and for so many reasons. Take her majestic mountains, tremendous seashores, and soaring plains, and add the heroic spirit of military members over the years, and you have the perfect opportunity for honor. Today, as students from Fort McCoy School Chorus take to our steps to perform, their tribute comes in musical form. They are directed by music teacher Alexandria Muse. "We Honor You," the title of their song, shares the message of gratitude and hope and serves as the perfect tribute to those who give so much. Here's the Fort McCoy School Chorus with "We Honor You." We honor you by the Fort McCoy School Chorus under the direction of music teacher Alexandria Muse. Great job. As they leave our stage this morning and our next group prepares to join us, it should not take November 11th to thank a veteran. In fact, we should thank veterans every time we see one, for without them, we probably would not be here today. For those wondering why Marion County schools are open today and on Monday, it is because we want students to learn about our veterans and appreciate their sacrifices. Several years ago, our school district met with local veteran groups to ask if we should make today or Monday a holiday. And with a resounding no, our veterans said they wanted students in class to learn, participate, and appreciate our armed forces. Otherwise, students might spend their day sleeping in, visiting the mall, or at a day like this, maybe at the beach. Regardless, there would be no connection to veterans at all. Fortunately, here in Marion County, we thank our veterans year-round for the roles they play in the lives of our students whose lives are enriched and improved because these veterans spend time volunteering, sharing their life experiences through our Veterans in the Classroom program. Samuel Francis Smith wrote the lyrics to My Country 'Tis of Thee in 1831 while he was a student at the Andover Theological Seminary in Massachusetts. His friend Lowell Mason asked him to translate lyrics from some German psalm books as a favor. Smith discovered a familiar melody in Museo Clementi's Symphony No. 3, so instead of translating the lyrics, Smith just wrote his own lyrics to that tune in 30 minutes. Smith's song was first performed on July 4th, 1831 in Boston. Today it is performed by students from Howard Middle School here on the stage under guest director Joe Crowder's direction. Now that they are in place, let me also share this song was first published as America, but is more widely known today as My Country 'Tis of Thee. Once again, Howard Middle School under the direction of guest director Joe Crowder. Great job, boys and girls. Thank you so much. For those of you visiting the park today, are you encouraged to see so many students participating in and recognizing our veterans? Heroes truly are among us today. They left families, children, and spouses behind to answer the call, a call to serve their country above self, and a call we must remember and continue to honor. At this time, Lake Weir High School's jazz band, under the direction of Mr. Michael Jennings, offers its salute to veterans. Through this music, we proudly acknowledge the service and sacrifice made by so many, for so many. Throughout this audience today, as you hear the familiar tune of your military branch in this musical medley, please stand so we may honor and recognize you once again for your service. Lake Weir High School's jazz band under the direction of Mr. Michael Jennings. America is a land of many different people with many different backgrounds, a land of many different experiences with many different cultures. With all these differences, what unites us is the love we have for the land in which we live, a land where people sacrifice their lives around the world to protect. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam, from sea to shining sea, literally means from one coast to the other. Taking to our stage at this time are students from Saddlewood Elementary School. Saddlewood, if you'll make your way up. Saddlewood, these students are directed by their music teacher, Mr. Kyle Kinsey. And today they are going to share their own version of a song called Proud of Our Veterans. And ladies and gentlemen, we certainly are proud of our veterans. Once again, here is Saddlewood Elementary School, directed by music teacher Kyle Kinsey. Thank you, Saddlewood Elementary School. As you sang you were proud of our veterans, we are proud of you for sharing in today's ceremony. As our students leave the stage at this point, today's ceremony is literally 1 year in the making, because starting Monday, guess what? We start planning for next year's Veterans Day ceremony. The person coordinating everything behind the scenes is one of our own here in Marion County Public Schools. She also knows what sacrifice is life because her husband has served multiple duties and tours overseas. Suzanne McGuire has coordinated 55 busloads of students to attend today's event, the most we have ever had, and every single public school, as our superintendent said, is participating in today's celebration because of her hard work and dedication to veterans. She doesn't like this, but let's show our appreciation to Suzanne McGuire for just a moment. Come out here.
I just want to say thank you to all of you who are sitting out there today, because this truly is a historic place and a historic day. And I want to let the community know that our students are here today because our school system feels it is important not just to read history, but to participate in history. And Kevin and I were talking, I think this is my 14th or 15th year doing this, and I so appreciate the continued honor to be able to do this. Thank you all for being here.
Music conveys emotions perhaps better than any other art form. Music comes in many styles and facets from many different performers, as you have seen and heard here today. Up next is a musical tribute to veterans from students in the Forest High School Chorus. They perform under the direction of teacher Jessica Mangerio, and their tribute includes 3 shorter songs combined into a single medley presentation, offered a cappella, meaning without any accompaniment at all. So you'll need to listen closely because you'll only hear their voices. Please welcome the Forest High School Chorus as they share 3 patriotic treasures with us this morning.
Shed his grace on
Forest High School, thank you so much. Brave and daring. And speaking of brave and daring, you might hear some airplanes overhead. The Sky Dynamics Warbirds features 4 vintage airplanes today with lead pilot Rich Langer, left wing pilot Fred Johnson, right wing pilot John Rising, and slot and missing man pilot Kevin Campbell. Now this is their first pass. It's in a traditional diamond formation, approaching from the west to the east. And once they leave your sight, ladies and gentlemen, they will turn around and they're going to return from the south to the north in a missing man formation. Once again, the Sky Dynamics Warbirds, and we appreciate them this year being sponsored by the Wawa Foundation. So once again, now remember, they're going to fly back over. So when you see them, cheer them on, okay? Meantime, let me share some information with you. In 1921, an unknown World War I American soldier was buried in Arlington National Cemetery. This site on a hillside overlooking the Potomac River in the city of Washington, D.C., is now the focal point of reverence for America's veterans. At the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month each year, a combined color guard representing all military branches executes present arms at the tomb. The nation's tribute to its fallen servicemen and women is symbolized by the laying of a presidential wreath, followed by a bugler's rendition of taps. In 1874, taps became the official Army bugle call. It's believed the first time taps was used for funeral service was for a cannoneer killed in action on a Virginia battlefield. The commander substituted taps for the traditional 3 rifle shots fired over the grave of fallen soldiers because he did not want to give away his military position to the nearby enemy. Don't worry about that noise over there. Military gun salutes memorialize our nation's fallen heroes in a disturbing yet very powerful way. The firing of 3 rifle rounds over the graves of fallen armed forces members and political leaders is traced back to Europe, where fighting was halted to remove the dead and wounded. Once an area was cleared of casualties, 3 rounds were fired into the air as a signal to resume fighting. The United States fired a 1-gun national salute on special occasions and during times of mourning for each state in their union until 1841, when the salute was standardized at 21 guns. It's generally believed that a gun salute is set off in odd numbers because of an old naval superstition that even numbers are unlucky. This morning, our gun salute is offered by members of the Ocala Police Department. And please note the shots will be loud and they will startle you. So if you are standing in the immediate area of these riflemen and women, please, we encourage you to move now because the shots, again, will be extremely loud and startling. This will be followed by Lake Weir High School's Esma Lady Ortiz and Trevor Gibson with a stirring rendition of taps in echo style. First, though, members of local families who've lost loved ones in active military combat will present a wreath honoring the men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice, and they are escorted by several of our military representatives this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, I would ask you to stand in respect. Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated. Taking to our stage now are students in the Mustang Chorale from Maplewood Elementary School. They perform this morning under the direction of someone who's no stranger to Maplewood. I believe she's been there more than 20 years, Suzanne Schmittling, the music teacher there. America promises to always remember those who paid the ultimate sacrifice in military service to our country. As a nation, we pledge to honor the men and women who bravely defend our flag, our freedom, and our faith around the world. Today, the Maplewood Mustang Chorale reminds us of the same promise with their rendition of a song entitled, "We Will Not Forget," and I believe here's the second flyover. Boys and girls, did you enjoy that flyover? Very nice. Once again, here's the Maplewood Mustang Chorale under the direction of music teacher Suzanne Schmittling. The Maplewood Mustang Chorale from Maplewood Elementary. Wonderful job, boys and girls. Thank you so much. Don't they look great? They sound great? Come on, you can do better than that. As they leave our stage, let me share this with you. Our final music tribute today comes from students at Westport High School. Lift Every Voice and Sing is the title of a song they're going to share, and it offers spiritual words and harmonies written by two brothers back in 1900 in Jacksonville, Florida, just a couple of hours north of here. In his own words, James Weldon Johnson said this song was written to honor President Lincoln's birthday. He writes, and I quote, "My brother, J. Rosamond Johnson, and I decided to write a song to be sung at the exercises. I wrote the words and he wrote the music. Our New York publisher made mimeographed copies, And if you know what mimeographed copies are, raise your hand. There's a couple of us. And the song was taught to and sung by a chorus of 500 colored school children. Shortly afterward, my brother and I moved away from Jacksonville to New York, and the song passed out of our minds. But the school children in Jacksonville kept singing it. They went off to other schools and sang it there. They became teachers and taught it to even other children. And within 25 years, it was being sung all over the South and in other parts of this great country, end quote. Today, 118 years later, the Westport High School Chamber Singers share their version of Lift Every Voice and Sing. One more time, make them feel welcome to our stage this morning.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died. Yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our people sigh. We have come over the way that with tears has been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out from the gloomy past, till now we stand at last, where the bright gleam of our bright star is cast. God of our weariness, God of our silent tears, Thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, Thou who hast by Thy might led us into the light, keep us forever in the path we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met Thee. Lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget Thee. Shadowed beneath Thy hand, may we forever stand, true to our God, true to our native land. True to our God, true to our native
Westport High School, wonderful job, boys and girls. Takes a lot of guts to come up here and sing a cappella, so kudos to you. I do want to share with you an announcement for this park on Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. They will have another celebration event here celebrating the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I. Again, that is Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. And before I share some parting words, schools, some of you are sticking around to tour the park here, and we encourage you to do so. When you are ready for your bus, we ask for one person from that school to contact the transportation representatives in the parking area. They will radio for your bus to come to get you. Remember, we have 55 buses here, so it's a massive operation just to get the buses in and out. Let's give our bus drivers a round of applause. They make a lot of it possible. One can put 1,000 to flight, but 2, 10,000. There is strength in numbers, and that's why we are one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We are united as Americans forever. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for honoring our veterans today, and boys and girls, thank you for showing your respect, your admiration, and appreciation to our veterans. On behalf of our school board members, Superintendent Dr. Heidi Mayer, our 7,000 employees, and our 43,000 students, thank you for joining us today. May God continue to bless this great country of ours, the United States of America. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you for watching this special presentation of Marion County Public Schools.